screen door will go back by itself. I think it usually catch. It's got a nice spring on it. There's a little hook to hold the doors in together here. Get that real quick. As you can see, this is the entrance. I'll just use a little piece of cardboard here. There's a step down below, which is kind of hard to get. So there's the step. Just walk right in. I've got a little storage little box here. There is a little light to your left. Works. There's going to be the bathroom straight in front of us, and that is kind of like a wallpaper, but it's, you know, really easily removable, so you don't have to worry about it like leaving any residue or whatnot. But it did cover the wallpaper that was there before, and that's the only spot that I think besides underneath here. No, actually I painted that. Kind of forgot that I did. So that's all good too. That I did not paint the wallpaper. And then if you walk in here, you got your smoke alarm. You've got some lights here that are above the bed area that's above the actual truck. Well, there's the lights. These switches are a little, I don't know, they're just a little tricky. There's nothing really wrong with it. But you can do one or two. One, two. Cut those off. Then we've got the exhaust fan. And remember that those toppers that I put on the exhaust fan, the black ones up there, those are heavy duty, so you don't have to worry about any water leakage. I think the warranty is for life. That's good, that all works. You will see that there is a light over here for reading on the side. A little window that opens. This is the first window that I resealed, and that's been resealed with butyl tape. And it's also got ProFlex RV on the outside. The aluminum like sunscreen, I actually bought a roll of that, and I have that for all the windows. And it fits really well in the front and back window, just for privacy. And then the side windows, I was using like some double-sided tape with Velcro. Then you can see here, this is another light. Both lights work. It doesn't show off a lot right now. This is the bedding area. You can take this down if you want to, but I built this little, like almost like a little bridge area right here that kind of keeps that locked in, so you could be driving and you don't have to take that out or anything like that. I think before it just feels like it moved around a little too much. Let's see here. This has all been reworked. Trim around the door. I reworked the wood that's for the exhaust of the refrigerator, and I still have it to where if in the future you need to access it, you can get in there. The refrigerator is below me. The door opens on the other side. And then to my right here is the door for the bathroom. It's got a little towel rack that I repainted. And then there's a light in here. See, that works. I reworked the bathroom. I did the ceiling. The exhaust fan is new here. This works pretty well. The pan is all in good shape, and I reused the shower cone caulked around the seams. I've used FRP on the walls just because I know it's waterproof and it's what's used in a lot of kitchens, and I figured, you know, if you're taking a shower or whatnot in here, it's going to be a lot better than the wallpaper that's on the wall. I also have a medicine cabinet that was originally in here that I kept, but I haven't decided if I wanted to put it back because it just takes up so much more space. I was looking for maybe a different storage option for that. Close this down. And I did a fatter seal on this one that I bought off Amazon just because I wanted to do something a little bit better on the seal in between where it closes, and it works really nicely. Let's see here, there's an access door here, and this is where you could store like more of like the sewer plumbing, your toilet paper, whatnot, any kind of chemicals you need for, or any kind of products you need to keep your toilet clean. Let's see here, the floors have all been redone. This is the closet to your right past the bathroom. As you can see that I have not painted in here, this is the one area that I was like looking to do next. I've got some bonding primer to hit this area with. These are all kind of like the new panels. There's a kind of like a fake door access point here, and this is where you can access your thermostat and your panel that controls, which I can just show you, your levels for your tanks, and then you should get the thermostat there, your battery condition and all that jazz, which these all work. There's the power on the panel, battery condition, like new battery. Water pump works. I just don't want to have it running because it'll just push water through to nothing right now. We've got the water gauge on that, and then the holding tanks, which truthfully I've never drained the tanks on the holding tanks or used the tanks. I've never used the bathroom in here. I've always been somewhere I could just use the bathroom somewhere else. So you know, that's just one of those things where I just never really got around to it. Unfortunately, I've never used this the way I thought I was going to, and I just don't know if I will. So on top of this closet here, that is the exhaust pipe for the drainage of all the plumbing. So if you're running water, it needs like some airflow that goes up. That's all good. And then underneath, you got your drawers here, which are lined with the same decal-like wallpaper that is on that spot next to the bathroom door. Those all are good. And if you go down below here, you will see a little access point for a hot water heater. And to the left is where all the electrical is. It's kind of nice to have that all right there together, and be able to get access to it, because I did replace the motor and converter when I first got this, which is right here. And that's all good. Green light is a good light. Everything's wired right. You got your fuses here. The furnace is right here, and I've used the furnace once. Right now the fan will kick on, but until the hot water heater is remedied, because the propane line is open there, you won't be able to use propane on that, but it works. I just, never really got around to using it. You can see I re-laminated the tops, countertops. Right here I had, which I don't know if you can catch it, something that got a little bit caught in between the laminate and the MDF that I used underneath. This is all pretty smooth. It's brown. I don't know if I would went brown again if I would do it over, but I was just kind of trying to match in the color scheme that was in here before. You can see the sink is totally fine, both sides. It's all connected. Faucet is new. We got windows here. All the windows function as they should. That's the emergency door. It's got a little slide too. Slide. We've got a cabinet above me. And this one is just a single door. It won't stay up by itself like the other side will, because it probably just needs a couple more of the hinges on it in order to do that. But just something I just haven't really got around to doing. Got a light here. Light works. I've got a little cap switch here. This is just for another 12-volt light if you wanted to do that, or maybe you wanted to plug like a USB little spot in here or there, which I was planning on doing a different lighting fixture there because it's right above the dinette too. But I just haven't gotten around to it. The paint is all new. I did trim here throughout. This is one of the doors here. You can see that door stays open. Closes. Another door in the cabinet stays open. Closes. And then we got like a little nook shelf here that I kind of built in when I rebuilt this. I originally had cabinets that went all the way around, kind of like the more openness of this, but there's still space to work with if you wanted to do something different in the future. The exhaust fan, I used the original exhaust fan. There's nothing wrong with it. Light and fan still work. All I did to it was tape everything up and then painted it just to make it look fresher. We also have this countertop, which I was planning on just doing like a little combing grill here, because you could just set it here. You could also do like a little cutting board over here, or maybe a butcher block. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then if you wanted to use your little combing outside or something, all you got to do is take it outside, and then you also have all this space open. So I was going to do it that route. Another thing to point out is there's outlet on this side and there's an outlet on this side. And those outlets are only going to work when you're plugged into shoreline power, or maybe if you're running a generator, or not maybe, but if you're running a generator also. Those are the two ways those work, but that's all been rewired. The outlets are new. This is a little drawer that I have. It's got some stuff in there from just working on stuff. Another drawer. I end up using all the hardware. Another drawer for utensils. If you go down here below, this is where the little water pump is. And if you look in there, you'll see the water tank. And it's got a little bit of water in it, but I haven't really been using that. Then the door right here that is to the left underneath, kind of where the exhaust and whatnot is, that is basically where the water tank sits. And before, you wouldn't have access to this. So the stove would have been in the way. And basically what I did is made it to where you can have access to the water tank if you need it. My whole idea was just to put a piece of wood here and do a little shelf right here, just to maybe like store some stuff. I could supply some wood if that's something you wanted to do, but ideally it's just more like having access to this. So that way if you have any issues with anything in here, you can get to it. I would be fine with just throwing some stuff in there that I'm not going to really use for right now. I also do have some, little dish area that you could use here. That copper pipe there, which is capped. Did cap that. I think I have another cap somewhere. I just don't know exactly where it's at. That is what was connecting to the stove originally. And then the other one goes to the refrigerator, which is connected. So basically, if you were to get more of like a built-in drop-in stove or oven, and that's the route you wanted to go, you could just cut out a little access point there for that. And then you just could reconnect that copper wire to the stove and you're good to go. We also have the crank for the antenna above, and this is the original, and I just assumed that someone would probably get a more updated kind of like antenna if they were doing that, maybe just go a different route. I don't know if anyone's going to really want to use this, but I just wanted to have the option there if they wanted to go with the original antenna styles that would crank it up and down. And yeah, and then you've got the air conditioner above. This will run off of being plugged into shoreline power, and this will also run off a generator. It does have to be a little bit bigger of a generator because it is a bigger unit, but this will cool this whole area pretty well. The one thing I can say is this drop table right here, where it drops down to make the bed. For some reason, I guess I wasn't paying enough attention to detail on that, which is something that it kind of is frustrating. So you can actually still put the table down, you can put the cushions down, but the table is not laying down as flat as I'd like. So I did cut a piece of plywood that fits there perfectly just for now. I thought about reworking this table, but this is the original kind of like laminate table and I kind of liked it. But if you were to rework the table, or if I was to rework the table, I'd probably make the table a little bit smaller. That way you can just get around a little easier. Because the one thing that I could say that I wish I would have done is I wish I would have rounded the edges a little bit here on the countertops. And I wish that, I would have maybe pushed the table back just a little bit further. But, you can still move the table if you need to. You can slide in. You could also just pop the table off, put it back down. There's no real problems with that. It's really like a small detail. I just try to be as transparent as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much the inside of the RV. Hopefully that gives you an idea what you're working with. All the paint in here I used was Sherwin-Williams. I've got a matte white on the ceiling, which I have about a quart of left. It didn't really take much to paint the ceiling. We also have, I think it's a Shobia. It's like an off-white for all the cabinets, which is it's an enamel paint. And then back here in the back, which I have a pretty good amount of this paint left. I don't have as much of the enamel paint left. I use just a satin. So I was thinking about, doing some more trim to maybe get the seams and whatnot. But I mean, I guess it just really depends on what you're going to be using this for and what you really need. You could also do more of an enamel paint all the way back. And that would be more durable and probably show less scratches, but you can touch this paint up pretty nicely. There's no issues there, and it still looks good. So there's that. And then I did a gray back here on the sides. I did a bonding primer before, and then I did gray here. I can tell you what, painting a small space like this is the most painstaking thing I could probably ever imagine. It's just such a tight space, and like it's like contorting yourself, doing yoga. The heat can get to you. So, you know, just knowing that this part of it's all done, and it's a neutral color. So if somebody wanted to change the color, if somebody wanted to maybe do some more of the vinyl kind of wallpaper covering in certain areas, or if they wanted to do some kind of backsplash, I would do something light. I wouldn't do real tile because, you know, tile is heavy. And one thing I was trying to do, it was eliminate weight when I did this rebuild. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what's going on here. This is the video for the interior. I'm gonna do some other videos for the exterior, and another video for a cold start, and you should be good to go. Thanks for the interest.